What is the counting principle? Okay, so for your little worksheet that I gave you guys, this was one of the things you guys had to do. You guys had to choose a card from the ace pile, then a card. Let's see, a card. Oh, that's an A. A card from the face pile. List all the possibilities. So if you're listing all the possibilities, you would start with one of the aces. So let's start with ace of hearts. Now with the ace of hearts, then you go draw one of the face cards. So you draw one of the face cards and you get the king of hearts. Oh, that's what a queen-a-dink. No, we're just going to try to keep in order here. What other face card can you draw that has a heart on it? Maybe a queen of hearts, and you can also draw a jack of hearts, and all of those can be drawn after ace of hearts is drawn. But that's not it. There's more than those for face cards. So we have the ace of hearts again, because we haven't exhausted all of the face cards, and we could get a king of diamonds, right? Then you could get a queen of diamonds, and then you can get what else? Jack of diamonds, and so that's the ace of hearts with the queen of diamonds and then the jack of diamonds. And we're still not done. There's still more face cards. So ace of hearts, let's see, let's write that down 3 times now because we know there's going to be 3. And this time we're going to draw the king of, what am I missing? Spades. Okay, that sounds good. Now we have the queen of spades and then the jack of spades. Okay, and then finally our last group right here, we'll have the ace of hearts still we only have the ace of hearts. We haven't done any other aces. We have the king of clubs, the queen of clubs, and the jack of clubs. And my question to you is, are these all the possibilities? No. What am I missing? Yeah, I'm missing the other 3 aces. And so you're going to have to do this process for 3 more aces. But I'm not going to, just for the sake of time. So how many is this? Like, how many possibilities is this right here? There's 4 groups, and they each have 3. So there's 12 of them. And I'm going to do this 3 more times, and so that's 3 more 12s. And so how many is that? It's going to be 48. Pay close attention, please. Now this right here, got to give you guys some words right here. This is called a sample space. It's a listing of all the possibilities, all the possible outcomes for this scenario, where we're choosing two cards from 2 different piles. And the total is 48. Now, it's not a complete sample space because I didn't finish all of it, but it's 48. What is the trick that you guys found? Right, you would just have to multiply the 2 amounts together. And so I got to give you guys some other words. Here's a word. It's called event. Okay? Event in this case is each time we choose a card. So the first time we choose a card, that's the first event. And so I'm going to put this little tray-like thing to represent our first event. And then the second event is when you choose a card from the face pile. And so we have 2 events here. The first event is when we choose an ace. The second event is when we choose a face card. How many aces are there in this first event? How many aces? Yeah, there's 4 aces. So we put 4 right here, and we're going to call that a choice. There's 4 different choices for our first event. Our first event is the ace pile. Our second event is the face pile. And how many choices do we have right there? There's 12. And so what we can do, because of what the counting principle says, the counting principle says that if you multiply the number of choices that you have for each event, then you'll get the total number of outcomes. So our total number of outcomes is 48 by using the counting principle. Any questions so far? You guys are good? I don't see interruptions. Okay, so we look at our second scenario, and this scenario has you choose a card from the ace pile, just like last time, and then choose a card from the pile of hearts. And so, how many events does this one have? Yeah, it's just like the other one. There's 2 events where we're choosing a card each time. How many choices does our first event have? See, the first event is when we choose a card from the ace pile. What is it?
4.
Yeah, it's 4. And then our second event has us choosing a card from the pile of hearts. And how many hearts are there in that pile? There's 9. And our accounting principle says that if we want to find out the total number of outcomes, we just have to multiply the amount of choices for each one. So we have 4 times 9, which is 36, and that's our answer. If you chose to list out all of the outcomes right here, you should make sure you have 36. You should have 36 of them. Alright, last one. Well, there's 4, but we're only going to do 3 for this one. And for the next video, we're going to look at permutations, and that's the top one. So for this one, you guys had to choose a card from the ace pile, and then another card from the numbers pile. List all possibilities, and I say in parentheses, yeah, right. You better know the shortcut by now, because if you list all the possibilities, you're definitely not going to have enough space right here. And you'll see in a second. Now, just like before, we have 2 events. When we first choose the first card, and still choosing an ace, so we choose the first card, but this time it's an ace. And it's an ace. The other ones were aces. And then we choose a card from the number pile. Now, the number pile has all the numbers in it. How many choices are there in that one? 36? Okay, there's 4 aces, 36 different numbers to choose. We multiply those 2 together, what you get? 144. So there's 144 different outcomes, which would take forever to write down. So you need to know the counting principle, because there's many times when this happens, you have to know that you multiply the number of choices together so you can get your total number of outcomes.